What's up, college football fans and Mean Green fans? Snowy Valente here once again with the Mean Green Show today, joined by Nick. And Nick, I didn't even ask you how to pronounce your last name. Let me get a swing at it and then you correct me. But Nick Nakwaasah?
Nick Nakwaasah.
Nick Nakwaasah. I wasn't even close. And UNT 22 commit, transfer portal out of the University of Central Arkansas. And guys, before we get into all things Nick related, you guys already know the drill if you're a fan of college football recruiting, the G5 football world, transfer portal, coaching carousel, any or all of the above. Consider hitting that like and subscribe button because that is truly all that we talk about. Well, Nick, I know we had this panned out a few times and our schedule just conflicted and stuff. So really, thanks for jumping on. I know you're 1 week into workouts now, so you're probably really kind of feeling the pain a little bit, and appreciate your time and appreciate you jumping on. But how are things going? I mean, how's Denton treating you, and are you enjoying where you're living and stuff like that?
Things are going really good. Den's, I like it. I like the area. I'm actually a Texas native, so a lot of the stuff I've been used to seeing my whole life is I'm pretty familiar with. The campus is beautiful. The all the opportunities available to me on campus are just amazing, and I love the program.
Absolutely. So, yeah, anyway, like you said, you're a Texas boy. So, coming out of Bishop Dunn High School, just kind of down 35 East, about 45 minutes or so. Out of high school, you went to University of Central Arkansas and then put your name in the transfer portal this past offseason, I guess. So, what led to that decision coming, to put your name in the transfer portal? Also, kind of want to piggyback that with, did you have any inclinations of, okay, there's some landing spots where I would like to end up, where I think I could maybe be a good fit? And also, every year, since we're on year 2 now, the transfer portal being of what it is, and more kids jump in than there are spots to be given out. And that's just the reality of it. So if things didn't work out, was the door open for you to return to UCA? Was that still on the table if you didn't get the offers you wanted? And I know that was kind of a mouthful, but I'll let you kind of tee off, and if you need me to repeat any of that, just let me know and I'll jump in.
Yeah, kind of the reason for me entering the portal was, one, I wanted to play at the FBS level, and then two, something that was important to me. I'm huge on family, and so getting somewhere closer to them was something that was a big decision to me. So kind of going off what you said, yeah, I did have a couple options to get closer to home that I was thinking about going into the portal. That's something that came to me, and I believe everything that went down the past couple months with my situation was supposed to happen, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I'm truly grateful and blessed to be in this position.
Absolutely. And kind of staying on the subject of transfer portal and everything. So obviously it's changing the landscape of college football for, regardless on what side of the fence you are on it, whether you love it or you hate it, it is changing it. And I think it's really interesting, FCS to FBS, especially because, not all the times, but a lot of times, especially with the G5 football, G5s will get Power 5 guys that maybe didn't play all that much and they're looking for more playing time or whatever the case may be. And sometimes it's a good fit and sometimes it's not. But with the FCS, it's like, FCS and FBS. Yeah. I would, obviously there is a level difference there, but how different is it really? And you get to see guys who you're not going to ride the bench at FCS, get in the transfer portal and go FBS. That just logically won't happen nine out of 10 times. But you guys obviously transfers that are coming out of the FCS have put up, decent film at worst to where these level up FBSs are like, okay, we want that guy. He's proven himself against other grown men, at that level, which is still a very, very high and competitive level. Troy Lance was at the level, and the list goes on and on of guys that you played against yourself. So do you feel like, going forward, we're going to see a mass, people that go to the FCS ranks, do really well, and maybe they were just under recruited out of high school or they didn't have the right size or whatever. But do you think we're going to see, like a mass tick up in FCS guys jumping into the portal for years to come? And do you think they might be maybe slightly more recruited than certain FBS guys?
I mean, everyone's situation is different for sure. That's the thing. But Yeah, I do see FCS as just kind of like an opportunity to show what you can do. And maybe if you were under recruited at a high school or you started getting recruited late, then you'd have that opportunity to bet on yourself again and possibly play at that higher level that you were wishing for. And that's kind of how my situation went. And I just took that shot on myself and ran with it, and it worked out for the best.
Yeah. Were you concerned at all jumping into the portal where you're like, oh man, this is because I mean, it's a dice roll. I mean, it is like there's no guarantees. So, I mean, was there any bit of like, man, should I just say my school's paid for? You know, UCA is not a bad school. So, was there any concern with that with you, or was it kind of no, I'm all in, like, you know, no qualms?
Yeah, there was definitely like a lot of long nights just overthinking, was this the right thing to do? But like I said, I feel like everything happened for a reason and it worked out the best way that it was supposed to. And I'm just in a great opportunity and great space at the program I'm at.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, as you know, this past season, 2021 season, I mean, UNT, they got up to, not the start that they wanted, obviously, but under first year defensive coordinator Phil Bennett, they really rallied in that second half. And, obviously, pulling off a major win there at the end to make them bowl eligible. So, what is it that I guess attracted you to North Texas? What kind of safety are they going to have you play safety? Do you know?
Yeah, mostly safety or one of the three safety spots in the secondary. There's also nickel.
Yeah. They call the nickel the eagle.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what attracted you to Coach Bennett and just joining this defense, and what kind of safety or DB is UNT getting with you?
What attracted me to UNT was they playing a great conference in CUSA, and then they're also moving to the AAC, which is probably the best G5 conference in college football. What attracted me to defense as well was just the 4-2-5 scheme. I played in it for about three or 4 years. I also did it in high school, so I'm really familiar with what kind of coverages and the familiarity of the scheme. So that was something that was important to me, as well as just being able to showcase what I can do and bring to the team. I believe I'm great at running the alley. Getting my hands on the ball is something I think that's a big part of my game as well. I want to be around the ball at all times, just fly around, and being fast with my keys and reads is something that's important, as well as just being a great communicator. And I think that's what UNT is getting out of me.
You were class of 2019, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so did you redshirt 2019 at UCA?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then 2020 was your redshirt freshman year. And did you, so 2020, you tallied up 33 total tackles, one forced fumble, one INT. Who was that pick against?
The pick was in North Dakota against Trey Lance.
Against Trey Lance. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so that's all done as a redshirt freshman. Did you? And I know all you guys, have high confidence in yourself, but kind of from a realistic approach, you're a UCA again. That's not a small, that's D2 in the backwoods of wherever. That's still D1 AA football. Did you see yourself playing as early as you did, or did you more say, okay, this may take me, until my redshirt sophomore year, junior year to really start playing? And were you surprised with the production that you put up in 2020?
No, it's a direct correlation to how hard I've worked on my craft, and just in that 2019 redshirt year, I learned a lot from the upperclassmen, and I was able to play alongside great players like Robert Rochelle, who actually got drafted. He's playing for the LA Rams right now. DeAndre Lamont, Cameron Godfrey, those are some guys that are still there now. Juan Jackson, they really kind of like made me elevate my game and see what it meant to be able to play at a high level. And playing my redshirt freshman year wasn't something that was a surprise to me, because I put in the work, and those plays were a direct correlation to that.
Right. So how is Trey Lance in person? Is he bigger than we see on TV? What's his stature like? What's his play like? Was it when you were, besides the time that you picked him, was it like, wow, that's he looks like a first round draft pick? Like, what was it like playing against that kind of a caliber QB?
Yeah, he's got a big frame. The thing that stood out to me was his ability to run the ball. Whenever he got it, he was hard to bring down. But I mean, we had to rally and gang tackle him, and he's got a really strong arm. So I mean, he's a great quarterback. Obviously, he got drafted very high, and I think he has a bright future.
Absolutely. Um, have you already selected a major?
Yes, sir. I'm doing business finance.
Okay. What do you want to do after football?
Um, for me, like I obviously want an opportunity to play at the next level, but if that doesn't come, I'd like to stay somewhere in sports. I mean, I played soccer, football, basketball, and a little bit of baseball growing up. So I mean, something I've done my whole life, and agency is something that I think about constantly, as well as pursuing
Mhm.
law degree maybe.
Speaking of, okay, so you said you play soccer. Was that your dad's doing? Like, was he the one who kind of got you into soccer?
Yeah, my dad actually coached me in soccer. I started when I was 4, and that's probably my favorite sport
Yeah.
actually.
Okay, so we talked a little bit pre-tape, and your dad's from Nigeria. Came over here at 25, and so you grew up probably with strong Nigerian, the culture and the community, and just being raised, from your father that's Nigerian from Nigeria. So, do you feel what, if at all, do you feel like any type of that, being raised that way has, just made you who you are today, translated to your game and the way you prepare yourself, and maybe just grateful for things that maybe your dad shared stories with you, things like he wasn't afforded that you're afforded. I mean, can you speak on that at all?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, my dad is someone I look up to. Just his story is something that amazes me, and as well as my mom. They came from Wisconsin and moved to Texas with just about nothing, but they were able to build a strong family that we all love each other, and we're tight. And I think that definitely goes into who I am as a person, just very family oriented and a good background. Having both of my parents there for me, they've sacrificed so much to get where I'm at, and I'm truly grateful for them, and I love them to death.
Awesome, awesome. So I don't have it pulled up right now, but your Twitter cover picture, I don't know if it's called a cover picture, but your background picture, whatever, is that Sean Taylor?
Yeah, Sean Tyler, that's the goat.
Yeah. So why I feel like you're a little young though. I mean, like I don't feel like when Sean Taylor was doing his thing, I mean, how old were you? Like 12 or younger? But maybe I don't know. But so what is it about Sean Taylor's game that stuck out to you for like this long?
Like all my brothers were older, so they were able to watch him, but they'd
Mm.
always show me like highlights and clips, and I just love the way how physical he played, and his ability to just take over the game from the safety position, and that's something. There's many great safeties. I would say him, Palomalu, Ed Reed. Those are guys I watched and studied as a young kid, and tried to just take pieces out their game and implement it in mine.
So when you were that age, you were looking up to the safeties more than the receivers because most guys, they're more okay. No, they're all offense, so they get switched to defense. Were you always kind of like, no, I'm a Sean Taylor fan more than I am, say a Randy Moss fan or something like that.
Well, I'm a big Cowboys guy, so I really like Dez and Romo in that era, but I would also always watch the defensive players that were elite at their positions. So dudes like Ray Lewis, Patrick Willis, those hard hitters, those are guys that I like just watching. They're exciting to watch and fun to play. They make defense exciting.
Awesome, man. All right. One last question for you before I let you go. So again, I don't know if you did this or not. I mean, I'm asking a few of the recruits here and just kind of gauging it, but did you play NCAA growing up?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was the game, man. So are you excited? So not this season, but the following season, supposedly. That's when it's supposed to be back on. So you'll be on the video game. I mean, that's that's pretty special if you ask someone like myself. But I mean, are you excited about the return of that? I mean, do you see yourself and your buddies like creating dynasties and doing all that? Is that something that you that you guys will do?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if I have the opportunity to play with myself, that'd be a dream come true. NCAA is a great game. It's way better than Madden, and I'm looking forward to them bringing it back soon.
Couldn't agree more. NCAA is better than Madden. I 100% agree with that statement. But well, all right, Nick, one more time. Say your last name for us.
Nakwaasah.
Nick Nakwaasah. Man, that's something. The announcers are gonna have trouble with that, but they'll get it down. But hey, Nick, well, hey, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate your time. Looking forward to all the great things to come from you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.